Hey everyone, today I want to show you how you can use your Top Marks Prep study plan. So you're going to log into your Top Marks Prep account and you'll see that your homepage is now your study plan. You'll see that we gave you today's schedule, which shows you the three things that we think you should work on based on your diagnostic and your mock exams and your practice questions. And if you'd like to do these top priorities, you can do them. If not, you can go to your other priority areas and pick from one of these. Let's say today I want to go through TOEFL reading and do factual and negative factual information questions. Well, we'd like you to go to the lesson. So you'll click learn and go through the lesson here, which walks through what are factual questions, how you spot them. It gives you an example and then kind of shows you what not to do, what to watch out for. And then you can go through the same thing for negative factual questions. So let's go ahead and do some practice by clicking practice up here at the top. So we'll start with this first one on social networks and the diffusion of innovation. Feel free to pause the video at any time to read through this passage, and I'll kind of move slowly so that you can read as well. So sociologists have devoted significant attention to understanding how new ideas, technologies, or behaviors spread through populations. One key concept in this field is the diffusion of innovation, first systematically studied by Everett Rogers. Rogers argued that the adoption of any new innovation follows a predictable pattern, beginning with a small group of innovators. These individuals are often risk takers and highly connected within their communities. They are followed by early adopters who help legitimize the innovation and make it appealing to the early majority. The late majority and laggards, typically more skeptical and cautious, are last to embrace change. Social networks, the pattern of relationships among individuals, play a crucial role in the diffusion process. People are more likely to adopt an innovation if influential figures within their network endorse it. Surprisingly, recent research suggests that innovators can even bypass the need for mass advertising if respected community members demonstrate support. Additionally, information tends to flow more quickly through densely connected networks in which people have overlapping relationships, enhancing the spread of new practices. However, not all networks facilitate rapid diffusion. In highly fragmented networks where groups are isolated from one another, innovations may remain restricted to a small segment of the population. Cultural factors such as shared values or resistance to change further influence whether an innovation becomes widely accepted. Sociological studies continue to investigate how these structural and cultural dynamics interact to shape the pace and extent of innovation adoption. Great. So that's the passage. Let's read through the question. According to the passage, all of the following are mentioned as factors that influence the diffusion of innovation except. So I want to go to the passage and see where they talk about the factors that influence the diffusion of innovation. So if I'm correct, I think that's somewhere towards the bottom where we're saying, however, not all networks facilitate rapid diffusion. So um, does the structure of social networks influence the diffusion? So here we see um, innovation may remain restricted to a small segment, cultural factors. So we know that B is out. Sociological studies continue to investigate how structural and cultural dynamics. So we can see here that the influence of respected individuals is mentioned and the structure of social networks is mentioned. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the use of mass advertising. And that's correct. We see the passage explains that social networks, cultural factors, and influential community members affect the diffusion of innovation. While it mentions that innovation can sometimes bypass mass advertising, it does not state that mass advertising is a direct factor influencing diffusion. Okay, let's go to the next one by clicking next. What does the passage indicate about innovators? Here, our options are they're typically willing to take risks. They often wait for others to adopt first. They resist new technologies more than others. That's not true. They form the largest segment of adopters. That's typically not true. And B is also typically not true, right? They're innovators, so they're not waiting for others to adopt. So let's go ahead and choose A, and that's correct. The passage states that innovators are often risk takers. Okay, last question for this passage. According to the passage, what is a characteristic of densely connected networks? Okay, so let's go up to where we're talking about densely connected networks. Here we have additionally, information tends to flow more quickly through densely connected networks in which people have overlapping relationships, enhancing the spread of new practices. So our options are they slow down the spread of new practices. That's not true. They create more resistance to new ideas. That's not true. They enhance the transmission of information. That sounds correct. Let's check the last one. They are more likely to be fragmented. That is not true. So let's go to C. And that's correct. The passage explains the information tends to flow more quickly through densely connected networks. Great. So we finished one practice set. To move this out of your study plan, you will have to do at least 3 practice sets and score at least above 85% on all 3. And then it will move out of your priority areas section and into your review and maintenance. Good luck studying.